Hello, boys and girls. This is your old friend RJ City, and today we'll be watching the trailer to Scream 5, also known as Scream. I guess they did so many of them that you can just go back and name it. It's Scream Again. First you Scream. Why didn't they call it Scream Again? Nevertheless, it just came out. It's hot off the press. I assume they just pressed them. It's a big steam press, and they trailer's ready. And I have a personal connection to this film because, as you know, there's a man named David Arquette in it. For those of you not familiar, he was a professional wrestler, and now he's starting to get into the acting game, and it's very exciting. I'm happy to support him, and who knows, if he can string a couple hits together, he might have a nice side career on his hands. There's also someone else in this trailer that I have a personal grievance with, too. So without any further ado, let us watch the trailer to Scream. Paramount, familiar with the company and Spyglass. Phones ringing, suburban house. All the pieces are there. Unknown. What is this, a house phone? Why would you still have a house phone? And she's answering the house. You wouldn't even have a house. This is not believable. This is not believable that she would even... Oh, no.
This isn't funny, Amber.
Would you like to play a game, Tara?
Is this the Saw guy? I'm not quite sure. Oh, Lord. Oh! Nice little slice there. Nothing too deadly.
Doors unlocked.
Oh, technology.
All doors locked.
You control your home. This is the problem with these apps.
Doors unlocked.
They can be hacked and tampered with. A lot of locks. Lady, the drug, yeah, this isn't really a chokehold. Just bashed her face off the... Is it next year from that?
Hello?
It's happening.
Going for a...
3 attacks so far. You have a gun?
I'm Sydney Prescott. Of course I have a gun.
good old-fashioned crying face.
Something about this one just feels different.
Yes, because the other killings were so normal. Oh, see, he's so silent. The Scream guy must wear slippers.
I know who you are. I've been through this a lot.
Oh, so they have to come back and explain to these new kids what the
whoever
premise
this is going to keep coming for you.
See? Ooh, very Randy Savage-ish.
You ready?
Hey.
For this? Never.
Nice natural line reading by Kurt. Poor kid in a wheelchair in an empty hospital.
To surviving.
This guy just cried again?
The attacks were all on people related to the original killers.
An acting face.
Whatever his link is to our past, it's pulled us all back here.
Things are going on.
And I won't sleep until he's in the ground.
Good block, David. A lot of screaming, but in silence. If a broken ankle?
Hello, Sydney.
Something to do with Sidney Poitier, I guess. Is there anything after that? No. It's just coming soon, and we got the hectic strings. Well, first of all, the woman there, I feel it very unbelievable that girl will be left alone in a house with a landline. Who has a landline anymore? My mother had it for so long just because she's like, I don't want to give your grandmother a new number. It's very confusing. We convinced her that my grandmother can learn a new number. In fact, she did, and it was fine. And my mother ended up saving a lot of money, which was great. So these people obviously are very wealthy to have the cell phones, the landline, and then to have this phone that controls all the locks in the house, because who goes up and goes like this? You know what I mean? Just press the button, but it's been tampered with because of this prank caller from an unknown number. Not only do you never have a landline anymore, you don't pick up from an unknown number. Ever. Under any circumstance. And if people are like, hey, I called you, like, you called from an unknown number, what is wrong with you? What are you, the Scream guy? And obviously, yeah, might as well have just said Scream guy, you know? And then he did that nice, when he opened the door, nice gentle little slice, I guess between the ribs there, just a little pop. You know, he wants to draw this out. He wants to have a fun time. He understands that this movie is at least an hour and a half and wants to take us, because if he just went, wah, she would have been dead, and that would have been it. And then I like how Nev Campbell there is going for a jog, but is not out of breath or sweating at all. A nice casual jog in the heat without a drop of sweat. And then, cut to At every point in this trailer, David looks like he just had a hearty cry. He looks very upset, very dejected, wondering, wrestling with the regrets of the choices he's made in his life. So this is really not that much of a stretch at all. And then, of course, Courtney's there. And she's like, I'm not ready for this at all. Despite dealing with this for, maybe more than 20 years now. You would think, it's no longer unprecedented. This is very precedented. She should have no problem here at all. And I will also say that Courtney Cox owes me a cappuccino. She made me, by far, the worst cappuccino, the worst any kind of coffee I've ever had in my life. And she knows it and said she would make me another one. Years have since gone by. So maybe she's not going to be ready for that either. Who knows? But I will say, they always say the Scream mask is, but it's very signature. But the real flowy robe here, very Randy Savage shadows. No reason for him to go like this, unless he was having a fun shadow puppet time or something. So the older generation is going to have to explain to the newer generation that there's a killer on the loose, because that's so difficult to figure out. And then there was that street toughed guy going into his car. I guess he was like 1960 or something. I don't know what the deal was there. But always, the Scream guy is very, very silent. So just look around you. I think a lot of problems would be solved if people looked around them. But the Scream guy is tenacious, and he broke someone's ankle, which was mean. I'm fine with the stabbing, but when you break someone's ankle, that's when I draw the line. And maybe he broke the ankle. That's why that person's in the hospital that doesn't seem to have anyone in it at all. Not one single person, and no one running the electricity, because it seems very dark. But then David shows up and he's wearing his denim. I also love that David lives in a house, or Dewey, excuse me. I have to clarify who I'm talking about because the characters are so distinct. He lives in that house with the wood paneling. And that is a good character choice to me. He suits wood paneling, distressed denim. Maybe he wears some Oshkosh bagosh. I don't know. Who am I to say? What does bother me, though, is that the movie is called Scream. There's not that many screams in the trailer. I wanted to see some more screams. David, one of the great screamers of our time. I can't remember a film or a wrestling match where he didn't scream and scream well. So I would like to see more screaming for him. Maybe they're saving it. Pay the money, pay the $12, buy the popcorn and the soda if you want to see this guy scream. So nevertheless, that was the trailer. And normally I wouldn't see a film of this nature, but I will be seeing this one in full because I like to support my friends, even though they're not really my friends.